The Eagles ruling the NFC East is officially done because there's a new guy in town. His name's Caleb Downs, plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Absolute stud. He's been fantastic in training camp so far. Grant, tell the people about Caleb Downs.
Yeah, so this one is a little difficult for me to admit because we see all the stuff behind me and we know who I'm a fan of. Here's what I said before the NFL draft. I would repeatedly say that Caleb Downs does not play the most important position, and we're in this positional importance era. It's all about the money. Why would I draft? Let's say Caleb Downs becomes the best safety in the NFL. That would mean he would make as much money as wide receiver number, I think it was wide receiver number 32. So why would I draft a safety for the value of wide receiver 32 when I could draft a receiver? Like that's how positional value works. But if you just take all of that away and you look at him as one of 11 guys on the field at any given time, I always said Caleb Downs was the best player in college football. Some people tried to argue Jeremiah Love, Fernando Mendoza. I said, you're crazy. It's obviously Caleb Downs. Well, we are seeing the clips on social media where Caleb Downs is shutting down CeeDee Lamb. He's breaking up passes. He's making great plays on the ball. Granted, Christian Parker, the new DC, said that he hates when clips go out on social media, so Cowboys fans are probably going to be told to cut that out. But nonetheless, we've seen it with our own eyes now. We're going to hopefully see some in the preseason. We'll see it when the season gets going. But a couple of guys at ESPN have actually already seen it. Graziano, Fowler, and Solak were going to different training camps across the country. And we have some notes on Caleb Downs from just various people who were there. So this is according to the Cowboys coach, Brian Schottenheimer. He's doing great. For a rookie, he's so instinctive. He doesn't repeat mistakes. When you can play right away as a freshman at Alabama for Nick Saban, you've got some intelligence about you. Graziano says, one thing that really struck me was how much the Cowboys will be expecting out of their very young players and coaches. This goes more into some of the other people as well. Malachi Lawrence, Jayshon Barham, Siobhan Revel. That includes Caleb Downs. Christian Parker was speaking very glowingly of him. Jerry Jones was talking very highly of him. We know who Caleb Downs is. If you watched any Ohio State game, if you watched any Alabama game during his time there, you know, the guy was a multi-time consensus All-American. I still stand by. He was the best player in this draft. Did he play a less important position? Sure. But I think for a Cowboys defense that really, really was terrible last year, he's going to play a big part in revamping them.
They're going to be fantastic with him. And the biggest issue with the Dallas Cowboys has not been the offense recently. It's been the defense. And I think we're seeing Jerry Jones go through this. Maybe it's realizing that his time as the owner of the Dallas Cowboys could be coming to an end. You know, he said he wanted to get another Super Bowl before he does ultimately die. Maybe now he's starting to realize that because we're all in on the defense now. Quinnen Williams gets the big contract. You draft an unbelievable safety, game-changing safety with Caleb Downs. You've added dudes in. I know you sent Micah Parsons away, but credit to him for doing that because the Micah Parsons era in Dallas wasn't working. You had a game-changing player, but it wasn't making your team better. So he went out and he made the unit better. And that's something we haven't seen from him in a while with the defense. I mean, the defensive stack is if Caleb Downs comes in and plays like he is expected to play, you know, they don't have to be the best defense in the world. If they're a middle-of-the-road unit, they're going to win games because of how dominant the offense can be. So I think Dallas is by far the favorite in this division, even though they're not from the sports books. It's still Philadelphia. I'd be scared of the Dallas Cowboys if I was the Eagles, though.
Yeah, I think if you're any team, if you're the Eagles, if you're the Giants, if you're the Commanders, you're looking around who's your biggest rival, you got to say it's the Dallas Cowboys. Biggest rival to win the division, because I'm with you. If we just remove the possibility they have a good defense, to your point, that still doesn't matter. If they're like 18th, 20th, as far as defensive numbers go, their offense could easily lead the league in scoring. And they've got a path to going 11-6, 12-5, something like that. Now that you're not going to get to and win a Super Bowl if you don't have some kind of defensive support, but this is like year one of the real rebuild, I guess you could say, because it's right after the Micah Parsons trade. You get your new defensive coordinator, the young guy, Christian Parker. You've spent some of these first-round draft picks you got for Micah. You're investing in different positions. They just paid Quinnen Williams a ton of money, over $105 million. So this is kind of year one of the defensive rebuild, and they're going in a really strong direction. And I think Christian Parker's defensive philosophy is going to be it's going to fit very well. And it's also going to be very interesting here. Now, we've got to see Christian Parker do it during games. This is always the thing with young coordinators. We have to see them actually prove it, but just from how he's spoken, what he's bringing with him, what he's got at his disposal, I think it's a very good mix. And I think he's a guy with a lot of intelligence behind him. So he wants to use a lot of the sort of Vic Fangio principles where we've got safety rotations, some split field coverages based in quarters principles. There's going to be a lot of nickel. They want to have a versatile player who can play some man coverage, go drop down into the box, get after the quarterback. Well, Caleb Downs does all of that, and he's just a brilliant communicator. One of the things about that Fangio defense is it really strains communication, and that's exactly what Caleb Downs gives you. I mean, the guy he probably won't do it, but he could be the green dot in the NFL as a rookie, in my opinion. And as a safety, which you don't see all that much, it's usually a linebacker. So, yeah, I got very high hopes for him, and I definitely don't have high hopes for the Cowboys, but I'm also not going to sit here and lie. I think that they've gone about this in a nice way. I mean, even down to hiring Brian Schottenheimer. We called that the worst hire of the entire offseason, and then we saw the Cowboys offense in play, and we go, well, damn, the Cowboys offense looks pretty good. And I love the hires that he's made as a head coach. So, yeah, the Cowboys are a scary team this year, no doubt.
I would say Rashawn Gary's got to be the dude, like to make the defensive principles work that, Vic Fangio has done. Like, you need great pass rushers. So that's something that this current regime for the Dallas Cowboys needs to have is great pass rushers. And Rashawn Gary needs to be that guy. Obviously, it's not a Micah Parsons. He's no Micah Parsons, but he's still very good rusher, 7.5 sacks last year. He's been up as high as 9.5. This could be one of the better years of his career, especially if they're mixing in all the different weapons that they have. And the other thing that I'll say, if this Dallas Cowboys team was not the Dallas Cowboys, let's say we took them, all the players, and we stuck them with the Patriots uniforms on, or if we put a different uniform on them, not the Dallas Cowboys that have been known for falling apart, I think you'd be saying this team's close to Super Bowl or bust.
I would probably agree with you. I think let's just look at a basic level. So you've got a quarterback, and Dak's got his warts. We all know that. But Dak's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. So we've got that covered. Javonte Williams is coming off the best year of his career, 1,200 yards rushing. Is he going to do that again? I mean, simple math would tell you probably not. There's probably going to be some regression to the mean, but still, he played really well last year. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, we got nothing to talk about. We're cool there. Jake Ferguson, not the best, not the worst. You're fine. Offensive line is solid. You've got really good guard play as well, so the interior is strong, which is going to help you run the football. And then on defense, you got Quinnen Williams, who's going to be one of the best guys in the league on that front line. Quinnen, Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary, Ezeraku, and Malachi Lawrence. It's more of a committee-based approach for sure, with Quinnen obviously being the guy, but you've just got to imagine that you're going to win some battles up on the front line with that. The linebackers, I think, are the point of question. Overshown is awesome, but the injuries, what's that going to do to him? D. Winters. And then you get to the secondary, and again, it's not overwhelming, but Caleb Downs could be a true star there. He could be that guy who just completely changes the complexion of that, where you go, that secondary is not good until you put Caleb Downs in the mix, and all of a sudden it looks good because of how smart he is, how he communicates, how much grass he covers, the plays he makes on the football. So I'm with you. I think this is a team that is not getting their just due. I think they should be favored ahead of the Eagles, and they probably should be favored to win the NFC East this year.
Elite kicking game too.
Good point.
So, and they're pretty solid in every area of the field. Like, the defense is not going to be a top 10 defense, but they could be top 15. I think they're definitely top 20, and top 20 is good enough with this team. But, if they were a top 15 unit, this Cowboys team is going to win a lot of football games just because of how good the offense is. And I think just that perception of the Dallas Cowboys falling apart is what's holding them back. And the Philadelphia Eagles have run the NFC and the NFC East for a long time now, so the Cowboys aren't necessarily getting their flowers. I think this team's going to be very hard to beat. Should we take a look at the schedule, Grant, as we always do?
Well, I was looking at odds, which I can share with you real quick. Cowboys minus 108 to make the playoffs. So basically they're telling you it's a 50-50 if they make it or not. And then they are 22-1 to win the Super Bowl, which means that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 teams ahead of them.
I mean, I don't know if they're winning the Super Bowl, but it's pretty close to Super Bowl or bust in my mind if they weren't the Dallas Cowboys.
I think they're still a couple of quality players short, but I think their expectations should be let's win a playoff game.
What's their win total?
I don't have it in front of me, but I do know this. I think it's 8.5.
All right, here we go. Starting with the New York Giants, Sunday Night Football at New York.
I got the Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys win. Home against Washington. Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean the Commanders. I truly just don't know. I'm trying not to be a homer here, but like, I mean, from 12-5 to 5-12, where are they going to settle? Where's the middle ground? It's a tough one, but I'll give it to the Cowboys. Sure.
Home against Baltimore. This is when the people start saying we got to take a look at these Cowboys when they beat Baltimore 4-25.
This is also when the Cowboys lose America's Game of the Week, though. You know what I mean?
I think they win this one, and then they go to Houston on October 4th and get obliterated.
So 3-1.
Yeah, I think 3-1 there. Home against the Buccaneers. See, that could be a game they drop too, but probably not. So I'll give them the win there. Thursday.
I'm going to say they're 3-2 through this stretch.
Yeah, that's fair. No matter how you split it down, then you go at Green Bay, at Philadelphia. Tough back-to-back there.
But I could see them splitting, so I'll put them at 4-3.
4-3. Arizona, they will obliterate. That's 5-3. At Indianapolis,
I got them 6-3.
Home against the Niners, I'm going to say 7-3.
Sure, 7-3.
I just don't know if the Niners will have a football team at that point.
Yeah, fair.
Home against the Titans,
8-3.
Home against the Eagles.
They're going to split with the Eagles probably, so we'll go 8-4 there.
For at Seattle, we'll say 8-5. But
at
you know,
Rams.
Maybe they split. I'm gonna say they split those games.
I'm gonna say it's 8-6. You got them at 9-5.
All right, I'll go 8-6. That's fine. So that's probably the right thing to do. Jacksonville, New York, Washington to end the season. So figure we already had them beating New York and Washington.
Just give them 2 or 3. So we got them at 10-7.
It's pretty fair.
That feels like a good. I think 10-7, 11-6. They look at that and they're like, that's a good season.
10-7 gets them in. You think?
It's tough because in the NFC, here's the list of teams that could go 10-7 realistically: Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders, Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings, NFC South, whoever it is. Rams, 49ers, and Seahawks. So I just named you 11 out of the 16 teams where it's possible they go 10-7.
All right. So Dallas's win total is 9.5. I would recommend if you were going to bet, if you want to take them to make the playoffs through the win total, take them to, it's plus 115 for 9.5 too. So 8.5 is minus 150. I would just take the over 9.5 because there's no way 9-8 gets them into the playoffs.
Yep.
So don't worry about 10-7 may not get them in either, but at least you're going to hit your win total bet.
That's sharp by you. Yeah, for it to be worse odds for them to make the playoffs versus to go over the win total, it doesn't make sense. So yeah, that would definitely be the way to go.
I don't see 9-8 getting them in.
No way.
Yeah. So anything else, Grant, on the Dallas Cowboys?
No, if you guys enjoyed, and any Cowboys fans, like if you've been to camp or anything and you've seen Caleb Downs in person, definitely let us know what you saw in the comment section below. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you enjoyed. It's the #1 way to support us on the channel. And subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and we're posting videos every single day. So yeah, do us those favors, and we will see you in the next video.